G'day there guys, apologies for the delay. I was making a complaint to Spotify because you're not the hottest single of the week. Ha, what's going on there? Welcome back to another episode of r/AmiTheA. I hope you enjoy your stay. Tell me what you thought about it down in the comments below. Give me that 5-star like and have a good one. Posted by user WThrowaway23. Titled, Am I the a-hole for sticking by my husband and not going to my daughter's wedding? Background info. We live in a very conservative city. Social circles are very close-knit, and my husband's work is very much relationship-based. So my bisexual 21-year-old daughter started dating her high school classmate, another girl, when they were both 18. They got engaged 2 years later. Problem is, her fiancé is a stripper, and anybody who has seen her Instagram would know it, and now my daughter's publicly tagged all over her stripper fiancé's Instagram. I don't care if women decide to be strippers, or if anybody else dates strippers. However, my husband, her stepfather, is a partner at a law firm, and many of his clients are very conservative. My ex-husband, who is also my daughter's father, is also mad because of the possible implications because his medical practice was built on long-standing relationships. And because saving for a college fund was up to my ex-husband, he ended up rescinding the money before my daughter, who was taking gap years, could go. I don't think he's talked to her or sent her money since. He even unfollowed her on social media. My husband says that already he heard comments about how my daughter was dating essentially a kept woman, and asked that I distance myself from her. I asked my daughter to reconsider her engagement since her girlfriend/fiancé has had a lot of family problems, but she refuses. My husband is the only one who works in our current family as I left college to raise my daughter. He's also thinking of retiring soon and doesn't want his last years as senior partner to be marred by his conservative clients judging him for supporting this relationship. My daughter sent out a last-minute invite to her wedding and asked if I could come. However, because she's been posting about it a lot on social media, I was sure it was going to be a pretty big thing that could be the focus of our close-knit social scene. My husband said he's against me going, and I finally decided not to go. They got married last weekend, and now my daughter has written me a 2-page letter saying how much she hates me. Am I the a-hole? I feel like I was stuck between a rock and a hard place, but I felt it would be selfish if I didn't think about my husband and what the social consequences are for him. I'm sorry, that's not a good excuse. That's not a reason to miss your daughter's wedding. She's written you a 2-page letter saying how much she hates you. What is it going to take to get through your thick skull that you are an a-hole for doing this? I really don't understand. The man is 70 years old. He's lived a full life and had a full career of enabling this mindset and enabling these conservative people around him that are going to judge these lifestyle choices. Oh no, a few years out of retirement, he's going to be judged by more people. He's had such a perfect streak his whole life. Who cares? It's your daughter. She's got a whole life ahead of herself. He's 70. Statistics have it that he's going to die in 10 to 15 years or something like that, right? We don't live forever. I just cannot believe that it seems like you wanted to go to the wedding, but because it's going to screw other people over, you're not going to go, so screw your daughter, right? You're a terrible person. You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole? So you being a kept woman was okay for you, but not for anyone else. You don't work because your 31-year age gap husband supports you and you're judging your daughter-in-law's family and job? Seriously? You're the a-hole. It gets even better. OP got pregnant at 18 by a 29-year-old. Hypocrisy at its finest. Glass houses and all. She could well have gotten pregnant at 17, which is even more concerning. Most likely this is what happened, to be honest. You're the a-hole, a major a-hole, but you have company because your ex-husband is an a-hole, your current husband is an a-hole, the clients he and you are trying to please are a-holes. Congrats! You forever ruined your relationship with your daughter. I would bet good money that she will never forgive and will forever and always hate you, like her letter said. The clients don't even know. They are scared that if they know, they will judge him. This one reminds me of one from a couple days ago where a guy asked his brother's fiancée to remove her nose ring because it went against the dress code at his job and he didn't want people from work to know that his brother was engaged to a woman who wears a nose ring. Oh my god. You're 39 with a 70-year-old husband and a 50-year-old ex-husband, both of which seem to be well off and you don't work, yet you're judging your daughter's choices. Seems a little holier than thou. This. Also, the 50-year-old ex gets some extra creepy points for having a baby with an 18-year-old when he was almost 30. Pretty sure I know a lot of folks with conservative values who would rank that worse than stripping. God, this is my parents. Married at 18 and 30. I was born when she was 18. When we talk about it nowadays, my dad completely agrees that it was gross and creepy, and that he completely understands why my mum's dad always disliked him. I have a daughter, and my dad goes, "Could you imagine her introducing her 29-year-old, divorced, father to a 3-year-old boyfriend when she is 17? You want to fudging strangle the guy, and you wouldn't be wrong." It's been interesting hearing him reflect on his life now that he's in his 60s. In my parents' defenses, they've been happily married for several decades now, and they were both great parents, but it still feels frickin' weird. Posted by user Southern Gay Tramp, titled, "Am I the a-hole for telling my brother's fiancée that her college fund for her daughter is theft from my brother?" So this all blew up a few hours ago. I am mostly the one in the family that is good with money, so everyone recently asked me to look over their household incomes and build them a budget. When I got to my brother's, I realized that about $300 to $500 of all his checks was being withdrawn every time. When I asked him if he knew where it was going, he said to ask his fiancée as he didn't know. I went to ask her, and she said that she had been taking it out and putting it in a separate account for about a year now to build her daughter a college fund. I asked her if she had ever talked to my brother about this, and she said no, that she didn't feel she needed to, as he had taken on the responsibility of caring for her daughter. Mind you, this is not his child. I kind of blew up at this point and shouted at her that not only was she stealing from my brother because he had not given his consent, but that this was a needless expense. I helped my older sister teach her 3 kids and her child, and I can tell you now that she'll never have the ability to attend, much less desire to attend college. My mother came in at that point, we all lived together, but my brother was away for work at this moment, and stopped me, asking what this was about. Brother's fiancée was crying and told Mum that I had called her a thief and called her daughter stupid. Without getting my side, Mum demanded I apologize, and when I tried to explain, she defended BGF and said my brother had a responsibility to the kid. I refused to apologize, but now my family are all mad at me, and I have been asked to stay in the RV that we own instead of in the house. The question is, am I the a-hole? I was only trying to stop an unshared upon and unnecessary expense they really can't afford right now. Edit. It was pointed out to me that I could add to the context here. A lot of you have said that my brother could have dealt with this on his own. The reality is, he would never have confronted the situation, no matter how he actually felt. I am literally the only person he puts the effort into fighting with. He cares more about his mining fantasies than his real-life financial health. Edit 2. After my family cooled down, my mother came to the RV to inform me of 2 things. 1. While my brother did not know about the money coming out or where it was going, she and my father were. 2. My father is coming home from Texas, visiting his father who is apparently about to die of lung cancer. So he needs to quarantine in the RV, so you have to apologize today so you can move back in. I refuse to apologize even more now, knowing my parents were condoning her actions, and Andrew talking to my older sister. I'm moving in with her and her family. We are all cutting off our parents and brother for now, which probably means they will have to find another option for FSIL's kids' school. As soon as I can, I'm taking my card off all the bills and taxes and getting a cheap apartment till I can get enough saved to buy land. That's going to be a whole nother situation when it happens. Honestly, it's hard for me to give a judgment on this one because there's so many twists and turns, and whatever the hell is going on in this story, I'm really confused. Everyone seems to suck in this situation, even you for attacking the kid, so I'm just gonna go with an everyone sucks here. I don't know what to say, I'm sorry. Everyone sucks here. It was likely wrong of your brother's fiancée to do so without permission, but it was never your place to confront her. You should have told the brother and left him to decide what to do. Just so you know, the girl OP was calling too stupid to get into college is 7. I'm not defending the fiancé, but OP's comments about this girl take it into a different level in my opinion. What? Everyone is too stupid to go to college at 7, oh my god. Something about this phrasing is hilarious to me. Duh, I'm 7, I can't even write a paragraph essay on the causes of World War I. What's going on here? You're the a-hole for blowing up at her instead of talking to your brother, saying her child is too stupid to go to college. How old is this kid even? This is a massive a-hole territory. And saying that your brother's STB stepdaughter isn't his real kid and he has no obligation to her. He's marrying her mum. It's kind of a package deal when people have kids. Grow up. Edit. The daughter is 7, and you said she's too stupid to have a college fund? Jesus Christ. I'm changing to you're the a-hole, originally had everyone sucks here. I completely agree. You're the a-hole for jumping straight to attacking the fiancé and daughter when OP had other options to address this. It completely crossed the line to attack stepdaughter for something she likely doesn't even know about. It is concerning that the fiancé thinks it's okay to just move money into an account that the brother cannot access, but your actions made it less likely this issue will be addressed. Posted by user Topic Winter, titled, Am I the a-hole for laughing at my sister when she asked me to invest into her cringe Etsy business? My sister is almost 30, still lives at home and doesn't have a real job. She wants to become a successful Etsy couture home decor artist. Basically, she wants to buy made in China junk, decorate it, and sell it at a 900% markup. I told her Pier 1 already beat her to it, and they're going out of business. Faced with the reality she was going to have to get a real job, she reinvented her business as a social justice home decor art. The junk, picture frames, vases, candles, wine bottles, baskets, chia pets, pet fashion, and gnomes she wants to sell is going to be designed with rainbow flags, images of diversity, etc. She thinks her art will fly off the shelves but has no money to invest. My parents lied and said they are broke, so she hit me up. She told me she needed roughly $20,000 to start and needed it quickly. That made me laugh. I told her I'd burn $20,000 rather than invest in her crappy art. You sound like a really pleasant person to be around, OP, and I'm sure that I'd love to have you as a sibling. That would just be wonderful. I know that you don't like her idea, and I know that it may not be successful, and I know that you're salty that they're 30 and still living at home, but you can always just ignore it and tell her no. You don't have to go in and attack her for it. We all have choices in life, and we all can choose to not be a-holes, but unfortunately you've chosen to be an a-hole in this situation, and I will judge you as thus. You're the a-hole. You're the a-hole for how you handled that. Yeah, I also think it won't go as she thinks it will, but you were a total a-hole in your response. You could have evenly and coolly and helpfully explained your view to her, but instead you dumped your derision on her. Can we all just agree that laughing at someone is generally an a-hole move? I didn't laugh, but I told my sister-in-law that her business was not going to work because she hadn't done her research. She spent $20,000 on products without even testing the waters or knowing her target audience for the business. I told her she was making a huge mistake. The whole family told me I was an a-hole and a pessimist for being so negative. The family is one of those you can do anything if you're positive types. Guess you had to sell their product for an 80% discount and close the business 2 months later for losing too much money. People with business ideas see dollar signs and don't listen to reason. Sometimes you need to be an a-hole, like Simon from X Factor lol. You're the a-hole the way the story is told. I agree with your decision to not invest, but why be so harsh? You could have come up with 100 reasons that you can't spare any cash, or told her in a much kinder way that you don't think this is a good business venture. The way you did it, you sound like you ranted and you simply wanted to hurt her. If you're trying to encourage her to leave home and get a real job, there are other ways to deal with that, and in any event, you did not state that this was your intention. Posted by user Cannot Prove It's Me. Titled, Am I the a-hole for calling my wife petty and hateful? My wife was always an extremely thin woman. She is in her late 30s now and weighs more than she ever has, but she carries it heavily in her hips and butt. She is an attractive woman whose employment is partially reliant on her physical appearance, not sex work, but she has a friend who is about a decade younger. When they met, the friend was overweight. In their years of friendship, her friend has become devoted to physical sport, including the one my wife introduced to her / her thing. And as a result, she has lost weight, gained muscle, and looks very good. She too carries her weight in hips, butt, and thighs. The other day, her friend came over to hang out. She talked about how much better her times have gotten and how much she dedicates to improving in various aspects. She has creative and intellectual endeavors. The two have a lot in common. As soon as the friend leaves, wife unleashes a barrage of crap talk about how the friend is a poser, a wannabe, a tryhard, how she's too skinny. She's not. The girl has visible abs and looks very fit. She even said, real women have curves, but they both have the same body type. After hearing her just crap talk her friend to death, I had lost it and told her she was being petty, mean, hateful, and small. I told her that I love her body, but if she's uncomfortable with her weight, she talks about it constantly, then to do something about it. I've seen her working out. She puts in half the effort of her friend, quits readily, makes excuses, and has even overblown medical conditions only to lose all symptoms as soon as she gets home. She claims to be an artist, but spends most of her time on her phone. She claims to be a pro at all the things her friend is actively practicing, but she doesn't do any of those things, and hasn't for most of the decade we've been together. I don't mind these things, but this girl is a good person and a good friend, and doesn't deserve to be treated that way, even behind her back, especially by her best friend. My wife doesn't work more than a few days a month, and brings in almost no income. If she wanted to pursue anything, she is free to do it, but she instead chooses to complain and tear others down. I've been staying in my office the last 2 nights. Am I the a-hole for speaking up about this? I don't know if this is typical behavior for female friendships. Edit. I love my wife. We have a very straightforward manner of speaking to one another. Our relationship is not in trouble over this. It's simply an argument. I am looking for advice on how to proceed. I do feel like an a-hole, but I feel like she is being unreasonably cruel. I'm just going to say I don't know if it was your place to be making these comments. Maybe she just wanted to vent to you. Maybe she didn't want advice. We can't really know this without looking inside her head and seeing what her intentions were. She's definitely acting a fool here, that's for sure, and I'm on the fence whether you were right or wrong to have done what you did, but to be safe I'm going to say that everyone sucks here, and I think that you could have handled this one better. Edit 2. I think maybe I was too harsh. I do not hate my wife, I am just going to go talk to her. Thank you for the perspective. Everyone sucks here. Like, she was rude and catty, but the contempt that you are expressing is not a sign of a happy and healthy marriage. Seek counseling. I don't feel like it was contempt though. It just sounds like he's calling his wife out for her poor behavior. My husband and I do this. When we are acting like a dick, we get real with each other, and we are frank with each other. OP, not the a-hole. I think your wife needed to hear what you had to say. You were her husband, and what you said came from a place of caring, and I don't think you were wrong for what you said. I don't get how Redditors are always saying to call people out on their crap, but then are saying that this man has issues when he's called out petty behavior from his wife. His wife, from what he describes, has some major issues and is grossly projecting that onto her so-called friends. I didn't read any of this as contempt. I love my sisters to death, but we have called each other out on our projections and pettiness towards other people if we were being wrong and hateful. I swear, sometimes y'all just want there to be issues. Everyone sucks here for how you talk to each other. Do you like each other? Try this. You know I love you. I think you look fantastic, but I also think you are feeling insecure about your friend, and it's making you say some really mean things. I'm happy to talk to you about feeling insecure or upset, but I don't want to trash talk our mutual friend who admires you so much. OP says, I love her to no end, and she is my best friend. Because our friendship preceded our relationship, we have a very blunt way of speaking to one another. Even in our vows, we did do a little crap talk banter about each other. Well, if that's the way you talk to each other normally, you are not going to get an accurate judgment here, because that is normally not how you talk to someone you love. Judging by your words and the information you have given, I would say everyone sucks here. Your wife because you were correct in your description of her, and you because you said those things out loud. But since you now say that the information you have given is incorrect or misleading, I don't think anyone here can properly judge you. Okay, and I think that's where we're going to end today's episode, guys. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even learned something from these stories. Just want to say a quick shout out to my Patreon subscribers and my channel members. You guys should be on the screen right now. If you do see yourself, I want you to give yourself a little pat on the back for being amazing and supporting me on this channel, this little journey we're going on the YouTubes. I really appreciate it, and you guys enable me to do all this amazing work. So if you do see yourself, I love your face and I'm happy to see you. Also guys, if you want to pitch in your own support, you don't have to, but channel links are down in the description below to support the Patreon, the channel membership, whatever you want to do. It's kind of like tipping me if you feel like I'm doing a good job on this channel. I will be opening up avenues for content on those in the future. Just right now I'm kind of bogged down and stuck in Ireland, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway guys, with that said, I do hope you have a wonderful day today. Whatever you're up to, I'd love to know down in the comments below. I do hope you have a good day, night, sleep. Whatever you're up to today, tell me, and I'll see you in the next episode, guys. Bye.